Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody and welcome to my video in which I will explore in detail the content of linguistics course that I teach to third-year English language undergraduate students at Biskra University. As I mentioned in the previous video, which you are going to find its link in the description box, this course aims to identify the theoretical foundations of sociolinguistics and psycholinguistics, distinguish between the key areas and processes of sociolinguistics and psycholinguistics, demonstrate strong teamwork skills, develop communicative skills by conducting presentations. Concerning linguistics, it is a course that introduces major subfields of macrolinguistics, including sociolinguistics and psycholinguistics. It defines core concepts, displays the origins and objectives of each discipline, and explains their methods. Throughout this course, students discuss the implications and consequences of the theories inherent in these domains and develop linguistic competence that extends beyond the theoretical description of language and its relevant internal components. The course is divided into a set of learning units that allow students to acquire theoretical knowledge about the discipline as well as develop oral and written skills. Before we start talking about the content, let's define the following essential concepts. Linguistics, the scientific study of the structure and development of language in general or of particular languages. Sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics is the study that is concerned with the relationship between language and the context in which it is used. Psycholinguistics is a scientific discipline that deals with how language is produced and understood. Regarding the course content, as seen in the map, linguistics consists of 2 chapters. Each chapter is dedicated for a 15-week semester. The first chapter, entitled Sociolinguistics, addresses different topics such as linguistics in the 20th century, an introduction to sociolinguistics, language variation, language contact and change, and language and social interaction. The first chapter aims to define the concept of sociolinguistics, explain types of language variation, regional, social, gender, etc., analyze the effects of language contact, including borrowing, pidgins, and language change, explore how language is used in everyday social interaction. Let's start with the first theme of the first chapter, linguistics in the 20th century. It highlights the shift from traditional grammar to modern linguistics, the development of structuralism and generative models, as well as the emergence of sociolinguistics as a discipline that studies language in its social context. Let's move to the second theme, which is an introduction to sociolinguistics. It studies the relationship between society and language. It has a specific scope, focus, objectives, methods, and areas. Concerning the third theme, language variation, is the differences in language use among speakers. These differences can occur at all levels of language and are influenced by factors such as region, social class, gender, age, ethnicity, and context. This theme addresses different topics such as dialect, idiolect, sociolect, register style, isogloss, jargon, and slang. Language contact and change refers to the linguistic phenomena that occur when speakers of different languages or dialects interact regularly. As an example of these phenomena, including diglossia, borrowing, language shift, code switching, language death and loss, language revival, creoles, and pidgins. The last theme in this chapter is language and social interaction. It is the study of how people use language to communicate and interact in everyday social situations. It encompasses aspects such as speech functions, forms of address, and expressions of solidarity and power. It also intersects with topics like language and social inequality and sexism in language. Moving now to the second chapter entitled Psycholinguistics, which deals with an introduction to this discipline, language acquisition, language comprehension, and language production. This chapter aims to define the concept of psycholinguistics, understand how humans acquire language, analyze how listeners and readers understand spoken and written language, explore the cognitive steps involved in producing speech and writing. Starting with an introduction to psycholinguistics, it addresses the foundations of psycholinguistics, including its definitions, historical development before and after Chomsky, as well as its goals and scope. It also explores the relationship between language and memory. The second theme, language acquisition, discusses how humans acquire language, distinguishing between mother tongue, second language, and foreign language. It examines the main theories of acquisition, including the behaviorist and cognitive approaches, discussing their assumptions, methods, implications, and limitations. Language comprehension aims to present how the brain processes and understands language. It includes a historical overview of brain studies, an examination of its anatomy, and an explanation of the neurological mechanisms involved in language comprehension. All in all, language production focuses on how language is produced by the brain, covering the stages and cognitive mechanisms involved. It also explores theoretical models of language production and analyzes the role of errors in understanding linguistic processes. This list of references covers essential works in linguistics, which will be expanded upon during the practical implementation of the content. We reach the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching it.